Newsflash. All rights, human rights, are made up. That doesn't mean they're not important. In fact, it means they're incredibly important because us collectively as humans came up with them. Because it's not okay for us to abuse each other. So when people are like, healthcare isn't a human right, well, what is a human right? What is your definition of a human right? What rights are you owed by society or by anything? Because see, when you're talking about having any rights, you're talking about how other people and society are going to interact with you. You're not saying that Mother Nature itself is going to deliver something to me. So within that idea of a right, you are talking about an interaction, a relationship between you, society, other people. So it's made up. And it's important to be made up because civilization is made up, and civilization is made up because humans can't survive on their own. Now, I think the underlying issue here is not this discussion. The underlying issue is that so many people, for some reason, believe that the only thing that matters is themselves. And that's because it's been driven into you to think of yourself all the time as the most important thing. And that defeats the whole purpose of society. I challenge you to do a thought experiment. I want you to look at the clothes you use, the world you live in, every single thing that is required for you to exist. And it's going to require other people. Also, your family is a decision. There's nothing biologically, physically connecting you to your children, to your husband, to your wife, to your partner. These are decisions we have made. And that we have said these are important. So when I say that healthcare should be a right, I'm saying that from the perspective of humanity should take care of each other, because otherwise, what is the goddamn point? What is the point in us building a civilization over thousands and thousands of years just to let each other die so that a few people can make a few bucks? Which again, money's made up. It's a made-up thing. So the idea of like these are hard-coded facts is just not true. I was having a discussion with a loved one recently with their young children about how to raise their kids in a world. And I said, I think, and look, I don't plan on having kids. I think the most important thing to teach your kid is to value community and relationships. To put time and effort into building them, and building them because they are important in of themselves, even if you don't get anything out of it. And in part of that, too, try to put your true self forward, and if someone is not willing to connect with you beyond that surface mask level, move on. Find your people, find your community. It takes time, it takes effort, but it happens. Because there are people out there, because we're all human, looking for connection and support. And finally, that structural kindness has to be understood and taught. What that means is, whether or not something is benefiting me or not is secondary to, is this something that will make the world kinder and better? Because just like all the ancestors behind us have gotten us to the point where now someone like me, missing organs, is still able to live and try and survive and do things, I owe it to the future generations in humanity to try and make it better. And when I say, oh, yes, again, a decision. Because I don't want to just be a single human being that exists as a speck and is meaningless. We choose the meaning of our lives. And if you don't choose a meaning which makes the world better for others, I cannot understand you. And more than that, I feel sad for you because it means you have no concept of love beyond yourself.